Moving right along to Ring of Honor 17th anniversary show this Friday, live from Samstown Live in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's a pretty strong lineup on paper here, starting from the bottom, working our way up to the top. Jonathan Gresham taking on Silas Young in the last match added to the card just a few days ago. This should be good. I don't really know why they're facing off unless they've had issues on live events or something like that I haven't seen. They've had no established issues on Ring of Honor TV as of late. But I won't complain about a quality contest. I'm glad Gresham's on the card. He's a great hand. Silas Young, also one of my favorites in Ring of Honor right now. Virtually doesn't matter who wins. Young has been going up and down the card for a while now, to the point where I'm actually surprised that he re-signed with Ring of Honor a few months ago, because they have not done all that much with him since he dropped the Ring of Honor World Television Championship about a year ago. He's really just been kind of floating on the card in tag teams with Beer City Bruiser and Bully Ray, and that's really about it. But this should be a good match. Just for the hell of it, Gresham should go over. The guy's a great wrestler, but he never really seems to win when it matters most. So I would give Gresham the win here. Lifeblood, consisting of Mark Haskins and Tracy Williams, taking on the Kingdom's TK O'Ryan and Vinny Marcellia. Lifeblood is new on the block. Other members include Tennille Dashwood, Bandito, CJ Robinson, that's CJ Parker, Juice Robinson, I'm sorry, I mixed up the two names there. Juice Robinson, I think I said Tennille Dashwood, and I think someone else, I think David Finley's son. I think he got hurt recently though. But anyway, Lifeblood is new on the block in Ring of Honor. I like the idea of the faction, because they're all great wrestlers. Their main goal in ROH is to restore the honor in Ring of Honor. So I like that, and the Kingdom has been very much against that in the last couple of months or years or so, and wreaking all the havoc that they have on the promotion. So I'm looking forward to the match on paper. It should be good. Lifeblood, as I said, just debuted. They should win here. For the Ring of Honor World Television Championship, Jeff Cobb versus Shane Taylor. For some reason, I feel like we've seen this match before on an episode of Ring of Honor TV maybe a few months ago, and it was a really good match, don't get me wrong, and obviously Taylor lost. I think Cobb has been undefeated since arriving in Ring of Honor late last year. It just seems kind of strange. I know Taylor threw his name into the hat for a shot at the championship a few weeks ago. Beyond that, I don't really recall much of a rivalry between the two. I honestly would have rather seen Cobb and Young, Silas Young, which was a fresh match. They recently did that on an episode of ROH TV, and it was good. By no means great. Maybe Cobb and Taylor will be better under the bright lights of pay-per-view, and they'll go out there and contest an absolute banger of a bout. Who knows? But this should be good. I would not take the title off of Cobb at this point. Taylor's not the right guy to dethrone him as champion anyway, so I would keep the championship on Cobb. Mayu Iwatani versus Kelly Klein for the Women of Honor World Championship. I believe Iwatani beat Klein for the title on a recent live event for Ring of Honor, which is cool. Klein had just won the belt 2 months earlier at Ring of Honor Final Battle when I and Alexis and her brother were there, so her reign was not all that long. I don't see her regaining the gold so soon. I mean, I guess she could, and Iwatani's reign could have been a bit of a transitional championship reign, which would be fine, but Iwatani's great. I think she was actually involved in the tournament to crown the inaugural Women of Honor World Champion about a year ago, and she really impressed me. So I hope she holds on to the gold for a little while longer. There's some great matches that she can have with Tennille Dashwood and the rest of Ring of Honor's women's division. But this should be good. I see Iwatani going over and retaining her Women of Honor World Championship. Kenny King versus Marty Scurll. Now, Kenny King has had a bit of a problem with all the members of the Elite a few months ago. I mean, obviously this is going back a while because the Elite has not been in Ring of Honor since, like, Final Battle. But I think he faced Cody Rhodes at one point. He beat Hangman Page, surprisingly enough. I think he actually owns a victory over Marty Scurll as well. I don't know really why else this match is happening. Marty Scurll was or is owed a world championship shot from a few months ago. I don't know if he's gotten it yet. I would assume he has. Kenny King, I see on the rise in Ring of Honor. He's a really good talent. He very well might be the one to beat Jay Lethal for that Ring of Honor World Championship. Marty Scurll is on his way out. He's doing the tag team. He's doing the tag team thing right now with the rest of Villain Enterprises, and that's great. But he's clearly on his way out of the promotion, past when his contract expires, reportedly in April. So I don't think Skrull's going over here. I think they want to start building up Kenny King as a world championship caliber competitor. So I see him going over here. Bandito versus Rush. Now this is going to be awesome. Really no rhyme or reason as to why the match is happening. aside from that, it's kind of a dream match for both of these guys. Now, to be fair, I'm not overly familiar with either guy. Both guys just signed with the Ring of Honor late last year, early 2019. Bandito is a member of that aforementioned Lifeblood faction I mentioned earlier. Roosh, did I say Rush? I meant Roosh. That I should have said. I apologize if I mispronounced it. It's actually Roosh. I thought it was Rush. It's Roosh. It's not the fucking band from years ago. It's Roosh. But he's an amazing competitor. When I see him, he's one of those guys where, like, when I first saw Andrade Sin Almas a number of years ago, back at an NXT Live event, long before he ever made his NXT TV debut, I think he faced Austin Aries at a house show that I went to with RJ in Lowell. He really impressed me, and he's one of those guys like Del Rio, who I'm not too fond of now, clearly, but 10 years ago I was, when he first arrived on the scene. He just screams star. He was one of those, Latino stars that did not need to wear a mask to get over. He's great in the ring, screams, star. His English may not be great. I haven't heard him speak a full promo since arriving in Ring of Honor, but he is going to be a top star for ROH in no time. I can just guarantee it. He has since faced, I think, Vinny Marseglia and TK O'Ryan, and beaten both guys. I believe he's undefeated in ROH as of right now. I would keep the streak going. I would have Roosh go over. I think Bandito is kind of a background player right now in the Lifeblood faction. I mean, he could win, but I think Roosh, there's more to gain there with him going over. So this should be, I think, the show stealer of the night. I really do. I think this match could be amazing. For the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship, we have the Briscoes taking on Villain Enterprises. Now, the interesting thing about this match is that it's already been announced that at the Ring of Honor New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Supercard event at MSG over WrestleMania weekend, it's going to be a winner-take-all match for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles and the IWGP Tag Team titles. And I think at that point, I'm not sure if they have any title defenses coming up, but the Guerrillas of Destiny are the current IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. I think they will still be the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions come G1 Supercard. So the winners of this match will advance to that winner-take-all match at G1 Supercard. I can't see it being Villain Enterprises. They've been a fun faction since coming together late last year. Marty Scurll, Brody King, and PCO. Some weird chemistry on paper. They feel like three random wrestlers just thrown together for no reason. But they've really come together, created some awesome chemistry, had some fun matches. They all work well together. I just don't see them beating the Briscoes for the World Tag Team titles and then facing the Guerrillas of Destiny at G1 Supercard. I think the Guerrillas of Destiny are winning that matchup. The Briscoes versus GOD has the potential to be fucking awesome. There's no reason for the Briscoes to lose here, so I got the Briscoes going over. And that takes us to the main event for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Jay Lethal versus Matt Taven. Now, I would say it's a foregone conclusion that Jay Lethal wins, but I really don't know. Lethal's now been champion since the summer of 2018. I think he won the championship the night after the Best in the World pay-per-view, which would, I think, been June 30th, 2018. So it's been 9 months that he's been champion. I think he actually holds the record for most consecutive days as Ring of Honor World Champion, which is pretty cool. I would keep the belt on Lethal. They've been very high on Taven for a while now, as have I. I've been following Taven for the last 10 years. He was at the very first indie show I ever attended, Northeast Wrestling. I think he faced Mike Bennett, of all people, actually, on that show at a Northeast Wrestling independent event, Waterbury, Connecticut, May 4th or 3rd, one of those two dates. I think it was May 3rd, or May 2nd, I think. One of those two dates of 2009. That was when I first saw Matt Taven. I think he was just starting out his career at that point after training over in Massachusetts. The guy is very good. He's quite the talent, and I've been a big fan of his push in the last year or so. He's beaten everyone from Will Ospreay to just every possible top talent in Ring of Honor. He beat Dalton Castle back at Final Battle a few months ago. He's beaten everyone in his path in recent months, leading him to this point for the Ring of Honor World Championship. The match should be good. Jay Lethal, again, is, I think, the best person they can have that title on right now. Until someone comes through the ranks that I feel is a deserving person to take that title from Lethal, I don't think Taven's that guy, at least not right now. Because, of course, a lot like the Ring of Honor World Tag Team title match, the winner of this match will advance the G1 Supercard to defend the Ring of Honor World Championship there. Do they really want to put the belt on Matt Taven on, going into that show? I would argue no. Maybe after G1 Supercard, but at G1 Supercard, I don't see Taven walking in as the ROH World Champion. Jay White is not the same established name that Okada and Tanahashi are, but a lot like Matt Taven, he's been a guy that they were pushing for a long, long time. I think he's a great current fit as the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Taven, the Ring of Honor World Champion, right now, it just doesn't do a lot for me. It really doesn't. I think there's more dream matches to be had at the G1 Supercard with Lethal as champion as opposed to Taven. So I would keep the belt on Lethal, but I would not put it past them to put the championship on Taven, which would be cool, don't get me wrong, because again, I'm a big Taven fan, but I think the timing, just right guy, wrong time, I would say. I don't think the timing is right. I don't think it's Taven time quite yet. Maybe in a few months from now, but not at this present moment. And those are my predictions for Friday's Ring of Honor 17th Anniversary Show pay-per-view, live from Sam's Town Live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Should be a great show. Looking forward to watching it live on Honor Club on Friday night.